The biggest MMA YouTuber in the world, MMA Guru, is not a guru and is a casual. Now, I can't say he's a casual, but what I will tell you is he is definitely a hypocrite. And it's funny to say that because most of his most popular videos is calling out Dana White on hypocrisy and favoritism. But you see it in himself, live, in action, with multiple examples. I'm going to get straight into it. It's going to be a long one. He looks like an idiot. And I'm glad people are finally seeing it. People are finally seeing it. And I'm so glad this is happening. So glad. I love MMA Guru. I think he knows a lot about MMA. He is a very good YouTuber. Probably the best MMA YouTuber there is right now, if not ever. But just like everyone else, you are a hypocrite and you have favoritism. And it's okay. It's okay. And it's so obvious. There's multiple examples of it. I'm going to get straight into this shit because I'm mad. He rage baited me. All right. I'm not going to lie. I'm rage baited right now. It's 4 a.m. and I'm fucking mad. Okay. First, let's go to this stupid ass breakdown. I'm going to skip a lot of the bullshit he says because y'all don't want to hear that. All right, he was obviously wrong, super wrong. He ignored the fact that Dricus du Plessis didn't look good with grappling against Derek Brunson. He ignored the fact that Derek Brunson gassed out. If for not him gassing out, he lays on him the same way Chimaev did because Dricus du Plessis has no fucking grappling. But according to MMA Guru,
green flags for Chimaev if he does miraculously improve his cardio, but
which he did, we'll get into.
I just don't see him getting a finish over du Plessis. I think du Plessis is of the level of an Usman or a Gilbert Burns, and I know
Kamaru Usman, the level. Let's go back.
See him getting a finish over du Plessis. I think du Plessis is of the level of an Usman
as a fighter or in grappling. Because if it's grappling, you're an idiot. This was so obvious to see. And it's so obvious that when he makes these fight prediction breakdowns, because he's not really breaking shit down. Like, he's not breaking shit down. Again, he has favoritism. It's simple. He interviewed Dricus du Plessis this same day. He's going to get on his hands and knees. I mean, it's simple. There was no indication that you could say Dricus du Plessis is on the same level as Kamaru Usman before and after the fight. What are we talking about? Kamaru Usman, best welterweight at the time before getting knocked out by Leon Edwards. What are we talking about? Just a stupid take. Let's get into some more because I have so much more I want to talk about. So him calling the performance and fight boring, I have no problem with. Right? But if you are going to call the performance boring, who is the reason why that performance was boring? If there is anyone to blame, it is Dricus du Plessis, and he does blame Dricus du Plessis. But in my opinion, strong opinion, very strong opinion, why are we blaming Khamzat Chimaev for making this a boring fight? Why? The whole argument everywhere was that Khamzat Chimaev was going to have 2 rounds in him, and after the third, Dricus du Plessis would make it a dogfight, have better stamina, and win. Okay? That was kind of the majority of opinion, including his. So all of a sudden, when Chimaev isn't super explosive, isn't using a lot of hard strikes, isn't constantly looking for a sub, preserving his energy, all of a sudden, it's a boring fight. Dricus du Plessis had months to prepare. Months to prepare. And he looked like he was fucking lost for 5 rounds. But no, Chimaev made it a boring fight. Dricus du Plessis should get all the blame for this fight being boring. And I am going to go more in depth into this because this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. If you ask any fighter, any real fighter, they would agree. If you, as a fighter, have an advantage over an opponent, Why are you going to go out of harm's way for I can't say that. Why are you going to go out of harm's way for people like him? To make it entertaining. Let's play.
In a championship fight. Pathetic.
Pathetic.
Talking about kill everybody. I kill everybody, smash everybody. No.
So, what about Dricus du Plessis? What about what he was saying? All the trash talk he was saying. His coaches saying, I don't know how they gave this guy a striking license or something along the lines of that. We trained Dricus du Plessis. We trained Dricus du Plessis to defend these takedowns. But Chimaev gets the blame for making it a boring fight. Continue.
Nah, I'm good off that now. I ain't hyped for any of his fights anymore.
I mean, you could just see the crybaby in this man. He has one fight of complete domination, and all of a sudden, nah, I'm not watching this fights. It's crazy.
Like in the build-up, I'm not going to feel the same about a Chimaev build-up moving forward. And I know people say, it's one boring fight, but...
Can't you say the same about Dricus du Plessis? All this trash talk, he was the best trash talker in press. Can you say the same thing? Now I'm not going to believe Dricus du Plessis when he says the stuff he says in a presser. Make it make sense. It makes no sense. Let's go here.
Anytime this guy hits you on the face, you're diving at his hips. It's fucking gay and lame, and I...
Gay and lame.
Don't care what anyone thinks about that.
You could just see the crybaby. It's gay and lame. I don't care what anybody thinks. Like, dude, I'm sorry Dricus du Plessis couldn't get up. Do you want an apology? Dricus du Plessis should personally apologize to MMA Guru for shutting down his hopes and making him look dumb as fuck. Okay? Dricus du Plessis should apologize because clearly MMA Guru is upset.
Fucking lame way of fighting. Straight up. I'm getting in trouble about this. Even DJ was saying something. It's mixed martial arts. Go watch boxing. Go and watch wrestling if you want to see just wrestling. I got that in my chat all the time. Go watch mixed martial arts.
I wonder why.
Tell Chimaev to mix it up then. And I will.
Tell Chimaev to mix it up then. So let me get this straight. When Ankalaev outboxes, outgrapples Alex Pereira, he's still boring, even though he was mixing it up. And again, the blame goes to Ankalaev for making it a boring fight. How is that a boring fight? When you have... How should he get the blame? It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. Again, as a fighter, if my opponent is completely shut down, I am not going to put myself in harm's way for people's entertainment. If the same thing is working over and over again and my opponent has no answer, why would I switch it up? I can't believe I'm making this point right now. It's fucking insane. Now, I want to play this because this is beautiful to watch. And then we'll go into another take because now he's dick sucking Marab. All right? But let's get into this first one.
Free from Dricus. Anytime you're in a fight with him, you're a bitch. Just shoot again, bitch. Shoot again, you little bitch. Yeah, do that, you little bitch, boy. Shoot it on a single leg again and hold up. Like Anthony Smith.
Yo, he is spitting at his monitor right now because Dricus du Plessis fed him a lie, and he dressed up all for this occasion just to see him get mauled for 5 rounds. I don't know what else to say. He's clearly upset.
Side of his head, Dricus. Over and over. Over and over again. Oh no, Hamzat's holding on a bit too much. More hugging from...
The Windex bottle is next to the monitor for the spit on the screen. I know it. If there was a bet on the over, I would bet it 100%. I'm just saying.
Chimaev, get dunked on your fucking head. Smash him up, Drickers. Smash him up. Smash this pussy up. Face crank that fucking pussy. Keep position and face crank this fuck.
Keep position. You're telling Drickers to keep position, but when Hamza does it, it's boring. All right, let's get to the Merab, okay? Because this is what got me mad. This is what got me recording, okay? Actually, before we get into Merab, let me show this as well.
Amazing control. Amazing positional dominance. Throw a fucking significant strike of ground and pound before I lose my fucking mind. You have 23 minutes of control time in this fight. You didn't wind up once to cause pain to Duplessis.
Again, the whole thing was, does Chimaev have the stamina? We seen him slow down against Hamza Chimaev in a 3-round fight. The whole thing was, can he last for more than 2 rounds? That was the whole thing. So him not winding him shots, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? He is preserving energy. He is preserving energy. He is saving his stamina. There is no reason to wind up shots and to try and go and get a finish and waste all this energy when you have a motherfucker in a crucifix for 5 minutes and he can't get up. And I'm sure his coaches told him that. Listen, hey, keep your explosiveness on the takedowns, but when you are on the ground, keep the fast movements, but don't use a lot of energy. If you have this guy on the ground and you're controlling him easy, why go away from it? Why use more energy to try to get a finish when it is the easiest? He had harder grappling matches in sparring. Oh, but why didn't he sub him? Because Dricus Du Plessis at some point in the second or maybe in the first, there was a decision in his head where he just wanted to survive. And you could see that. He wasn't no more after the second or third. He wasn't no more trying to get up. He was just trying to survive. He was trying to survive. That's all you saw. That's what I saw. Now let's go on to Merab. Because in recent video, he is now on Merab's side.
Out the sport, and I think it's going to kill the sport. Dead. Because now I'm considering Merab entertaining. Now I'm considering Bilal's title reign entertaining by comparison to what I just watched Chimaev do out there. It needs to be said. I'm not afraid to say it. There are a bunch of hardcores that will have a problem with me saying this. That was a boring, pathetic way of fighting. Now, Duplessis...
Skip again.
And Dana was up there slandering him at a press conference. Now we got Dana giving this 50k bonus. You getting the message yet? These guys are lowering the standard of entertainment in the sport. So much so that these guys from that region are lowering the standard so much. Merab is an entertaining champ.
This is the same guy who made a take on Merab when he beat Sean O'Malley the first time.
No, you just don't understand, dude. Go watch kickboxing. No! Oliveira's a fun grappler. Makhachev's a fun grappler. These fucking lame asses aren't. No submissions. No posturing and raining down shots like Habib. Lames!
Interesting.
Fucking pussy. It's a fine take to have, but Chimaev's too good. It's all good. Merab who do that. He is, and how much he trades on the feet and actually scramble. You have to admire Merab Dvalishvili for how active he is and how much he trades on the feet and actually scraps with his opponents. Shout out to champions like Merab who do that.
Oh, so now it's a shout out. You were just comparing and saying, comparing Chimaev's performance to Merab's, it makes Merab's look entertaining when it's not. But now it's shout out Merab. Again, going against a striker as Merab, why would I strike with Sean O'Malley? Why would I go into his world? Why not take him down? Over and over and over again, because he has no answer for it. It makes no sense. These takes make no sense. He goes on Twitter and he says, imagine unironically sitting home thinking, yes, Alex Pereira title's reign is over. Haha, we held him against the cage, or even, yes, no more wild Duplessis fights. Thank God Chimaev held him down and threw no damaging strikes for 25 minutes. You're straight up not a fan. So because Dricus Duplessis had no answer for a simple mechanic that is in MMA, which is grappling, we're not fans now. That is insane, bro. That is actually insane. To me, it makes no sense. Fighters will only get it because they actually been in the octagon and they know how fighters fight and the mentality to have. You make a game plan and you go with the game plan. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Fighters are not going to go out of your way for MMA Guru's entertainment. I'm sorry you were not entertained. I'm sorry Dricus Duplessis led you to thinking he could survive the takedowns, and all of a sudden you're mad because you look dumb. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. And then it's multiple talks about him saying, yeah, UFC is going to die because of fighters like this, which I completely disagree. I think the sport will die because champions don't know how to grapple. Dricus Duplessis went against 5 strikers, and he didn't know a fucking lick of how to get out a fucking takedown. Okay, you go to MVP. MVP will never win a belt because he doesn't have grappling in mixed martial arts. He is a straight-up kickboxer. He will give you entertaining fights, but the day will come where he faces a grappler, Ian Gary, or someone like that, where they will use his disadvantages to their advantage. That is how the sport is. So for you to say it is boring and then blame it on the fighter that is using their disadvantages for their advantage and not blaming the fighter who doesn't know a lick of grappling is insane to me. It's insane. MMA Guru is a hypocrite. He is a fraud. I feel bad for anyone who took his predictions and put them in a parlay because that shit crashed 100%. And it's clear that the fighters that he interviews, he clearly roots for them. Sugar Sean O'Malley interviews them, picks them to beat Merab, which I did too. Not gonna lie. But then I didn't go and critique Merab after. Right? I didn't go and critique Merab after. Ankalaev, I picked Ankalaev to win. He picked Alex Pereira because he thought Alex Pereira was more entertaining. There is no breakdown with MMA Guru and his predictions. There isn't. It is straight favoritism, and it's whoever he finds it more entertaining he's going to pick. That's just how it is. And this one fully showed. Chimaev versus DDP. He was so sure DDP was able to stop the takedowns. He was fed lies by DDP saying that he was be able to stop the takedowns and get up from these takedowns. And now he's crying.
Just throw it, Dricus. Again, bitch! Shoot again, you little bitch! Yeah, do that, you little bitch, boy! Shoot it on a single leg again and hold up.
But again, I'm not mad at him for having favorites. Because, like, that's how it is. When you're watching entertainment, once you're watching UFC, you're going to have favorites. My favorite fighter is Carlos Prates. If I saw him get grappled, I'd be mad. But I wouldn't go and blame the fighter who grappled him that he made it a boring fight. I would say, nah, man, Carlos Prates, you need more work on the ground. That's just how it is.
Anthony Smith, you fucking pussy. Elbow the side of his head, Dricus. Over and over. Over and over again.
I mean, there is spit, water flying everywhere. This is a splash zone. His monitor is in the splash zone. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's so obvious, and I'm glad people are seeing it. Let's read some of these comments. The pig is seething. The cope is insane. DDP could barely sound like he had. Guru represents dorks in MMA. I agree. I ain't gonna lie, I agree. Haha, it's always pleasure seeing this piggy cry. Facts. MMA Guru should change his name to Kickboxing Guru. I agree. I agree. The guy doesn't know a lick about grappling. I agree. I mean, he just said Dricus du Plessis is on the same level of Kamaru Usman. If that's not insane, I don't know what is. Dricus du Plessis was a guy that was getting jokes about him for winning fights, luckily. Kamaru Usman was former best welterweight. He was in the best welterweight talks of all time. Make that make sense. LOL looked like a skill issue from DDP. I totally agree. This guy is all over Dricus more than Hamzat was. Yo, that's a funny comment, bro. That's a funny comment. 529 strikes, 4 crucifixes, 11 takedowns with 23 minutes of control time. But Chimaev made it boring. I guess. I guess, man. Fatty is coping, but that doesn't mean he doesn't make a good point. The fight was uneventful. It was still a dominant performance from Chimaev. Displayed how good he is in his craft and was met with little resistance. Hats off to him. To the next. No, it does mean that he's making a bad point because you can't blame Hamzat Chimaev. All the blame goes to Dricus du Plessis. It doesn't make sense. Guru is a hypocrite. What the fuck you expect? Shout out Marab, the same guy you shitted on. Facts. Might be his worst pick of all time. And we'll end it off on there. Because that was genuinely the worst pick of all time. If you had Dricus du Plessis, I'm not going to say that, you know, you don't know anything about MMA or that you're a casual. But I will say, what were you seeing? What were you seeing? That's what I will say. And if you can answer that in the comments, then I will gladly agree with you and be like, yeah, I could have seen that. But I don't know how anybody was surprised by this. Maybe surprised by the level of dominance, but not surprised by the win or how it maybe looked in the first and second. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't make sense. MMA Guru is a fraud. He's a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite just like Dana White, which is funny because he made all the videos on him and about his hypocrisy and favoritism when he himself is a hypocrite and he has favoritism for the people he interviews. All right. He's very mad about Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. Very mad about Marab and Sugar Sean. Very mad about Hamzat Chimaev and DDP. Those are all people he interviewed besides Alex Pereira. But, buddy, you're not getting that interview. All right? Bro was on his knees for the interview. You're not getting it, nigga. Facts. I'm going to end it off on there. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.